Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're jumping right into a massive, fundamental shift in how we all live. Wellness is no longer just some niche, punishing activity you endure at the gym on a random Tuesday. It's totally transformed. Over the last few years, it's evolved into this comprehensive, multi-layered system that is deeply woven into our daily lives. So we're going to deconstruct exactly how and why this cultural shift has happened based on our source material, and more importantly, how we can actually navigate it without feeling completely overwhelmed. To really wrap our heads around the sheer scale of this, just look at this figure. $2 trillion. That is the estimated size of the global wellness market right now. 2 trillion. This absolutely isn't just a passing trend. Think about what that kind of money represents on a global scale. It's a fundamental shift in human priorities. We're talking about millions of people across countless demographics deciding that taking proactive care of themselves is a serious, non-negotiable priority. It's dictating where they spend their hard-earned money and, of course, their most valuable asset, their time. And we can see exactly who is driving this integration into everyday life. Right now, 56% of Gen Z consumers actually consider fitness to be a core part of their identity. Think about that for a second. It's not just a hobby they do on the side anymore. It's who they are. It's how they find their community. Plus, nearly half of consumers are buying functional nutrition products, officially weaving wellness into daily life. It's dictating how people eat, how they commute, how they travel, and how they spend their weekend mornings. It's basically a brand new operating system for daily life. Which naturally brings us to a really foundational question. What actually is a modern wellness routine? Because this is precisely where so many well-intentioned people get it wrong. They see that $2 trillion industry, they see those hyper-curated, perfect morning routines on social media, and they immediately assume they need some crazy 6-hour daily protocol just to be considered healthy. So let's strip away the noise entirely and look at what the current data says a foundational routine actually looks like today. Our source gives us a highly practical list of 10 core pillars. We're talking nutritious meals, regular physical activity, consistent sleep, hydration, stress management, mindfulness practices, social connections, time outdoors, personal reflection, and nutritional support. Now, I know exactly what you might be thinking. Looking at this massive list feels a lot less like self-care and a lot more like a stressful full-time job, right? If you're juggling a career, a family, and just the general chaos of being a human being, trying to check off all 10 of these boxes every single day is a total recipe for instant burnout. So let's just relieve that pressure right now. The crucial point here is understanding the difference between the absolute myth of constant optimization and the reality of consistent behaviors. Current research proves that effective wellness relies entirely on sustainable, consistent behaviors rather than trying to optimize every single minute of your day. It's not about doing all 10 of those pillars perfectly. It's really just about doing a few of them reliably. Perfection is actually the enemy of a good wellness routine. So how do we actually manage all this? Well, it all comes down to the holistic web and connecting the dots. Because all these pillars create this connected web where your sleep, your stress, your physical activity, and your meals all heavily influence one another. You simply cannot pull one single thread out and treat it in total isolation. Now, a balanced diet of minimally processed foods like your whole grains, fish, and vegetables is absolutely essential to support your daily energy. But because life gets incredibly busy, functional nutrition has become a super popular addition. These are nutritional products or foods you choose specifically because they pack naturally occurring bioactive compounds well beyond just basic calories. We're talking extra protein, fiber, or omega-3s that really help bridge the gap on a hectic day. This is exactly where products like colostrum enter the conversation. The source boils it down to two simple words: consistency and context. Colostrum is framed as a helpful addition for folks wanting to add some nutritional variety to their routines, but it sits strictly within a broader lifestyle. It absolutely does not replace a varied diet, and it's not some standalone magical guaranteed cure. Its true value relies completely on the context of your overall consistency across all the other areas of your life. So, what does this consistency actually look like in reality? Let's break down the flow of a practical day. It all begins in the morning, and the routine here is wonderfully straightforward. Start by rehydrating with water immediately after waking up to replenish what you lost overnight. Next, get out for a short morning walk. That exposure to natural light is absolutely vital. It's not just about fresh air. That sunlight literally signals your brain to halt melatonin production. It shakes off that morning grogginess and sets a strong circadian rhythm so you get better sleep that night. Add in a balanced breakfast with protein, complex carbs, and healthy fats, and you've set a solid daily energy baseline. Moving right into the midday, Your daytime focus should really just be about breaking up long stretches of sitting. Let's be honest with ourselves. Most of us spend our workdays hunched over a keyboard like a gargoyle. Instead of stressing out about fitting in a massive midday workout, we are just talking about taking walking meetings, grabbing some brief outdoor time, and short movement bursts. Seriously, getting up for just 2 minutes every hour is scientifically profound for your metabolic health. Then, as the day winds down, the routine makes a crucial shift: the evening screen curfew. The goal here is a much quieter routine, which means actively stepping away from the endless doom scrolling. Turning off screens 30 to 60 minutes before bed is highly recommended to drastically reduce blue light exposure. And this isn't just a trendy digital detox, it creates the actual mental space and hormonal environment you need for foundational deep rest. Speaking of energy, let's break down the physical activity numbers. General guidance encourages adults to get 150 to 300 minutes of moderate aerobic activity every week. If that sounds intimidating, let me reassure you right now. That does not mean hours sweating it out in a gym. Micro movements compound incredibly fast. Pacing during a phone call, using the stairs instead of the elevator, or doing short stretches totally counts just as much toward that total. If you take 3 10-minute walks a day, by Friday, you've already hit your 150 minutes. Next up is mindfulness. Now, this is a pillar many people assume they just do not have time for. But we really need to demystify it. We aren't talking about retreating to a silent mountaintop for an hour. We mean simple breathing exercises, quiet reflection, body awareness, guided meditation, gratitude practice, or even mindful eating at your desk. Integrating just 2 to 5 minutes into your day gives your nervous system a critical chance to pause and reset. In fact, research shows just 10 minutes of daily meditation can massively support stress management. Then we have what I like to call the hidden pillar: social wellness. It's so easy to view wellness as a completely individual solo mission, but meaningful social connections, like taking a walk with a friend or simply having dinner together, are powerfully linked by current research to emotional well-being and longevity. It's a pretty beautiful reality that a simple, genuine conversation with a friend is scientifically categorized as a core component of your health. You don't always have to sweat to be healthy. Sometimes you just have to talk to someone you care about. So, where do you actually begin without getting overwhelmed? Let's map out your 4-week build. Notice how beautifully gradual this plan from the source material is. In week 1, you're literally just drinking water after waking up. That's it. You don't add the short 10-minute morning walk until week 2, or the 2 short strength sessions until week 3. And you wait all the way until week 4 to add just 5 minutes of mindfulness. As any good coach would tell you, the strategy here is isolation. No major overhauls allowed. You have to give one new habit the psychological space to settle and become automatic before you stack another one on top of it. Building things gradually like this helps you avoid the most common traps that ruin modern routines. When you try optimizing everything at once into this massive source of pressure, or you focus so heavily on physical fitness that you ignore your sleep entirely, or you just make way too many changes at once, the whole system collapses. Ultimately, you've got to treat wellness, your foundational nutrition, and functional additions like cholesteam as one single supportive, connected system. Which brings us to our final thought today. True wellness is not about achieving a flawless, perfect routine. It's about personalized, sustainable behaviors that actually fit into the messy reality of your daily life. So I want to leave you with this final provocative question to spark some personal reflection. Are you building a routine that supports your life or a routine that takes over your life? Thank you so much for exploring this data with me today.